First thing, you want to make sure you are playing in full screen. This gives you the best performance and lowest input lag, so it's always the way to go. For aspect ratio, honestly just stick to the 16:9 if you want the game to look normal. If you are trying to squeeze out a bit more FPS, you can go 4:3 stretch, but that's more of preference thing. Now for resolution, you want to keep this as high as possible so the game looks clear and sharp. But if after all these settings your game is still lagging, then you can lower it. For 4:3 go with 1280 by 960, and for 16:9 use 1280 by 720. That way you will gain FPS without making the game look too bad. Make sure your refresh rate is set to the highest your monitor supports, like 60 Hz, 280 Hz, whatever you have. It won't increase FPS directly, but everything will feel way smoother. Brightness doesn't affect performance, so just set it to whatever helps you see enemies better. Now go to advanced, boost player contrast, turn this on. It makes enemies stand out more, especially in darkened spots, and it barely affects performance, so it's 100% worth it. Turn vertical sync off. You never want this on. It adds input lag and can mess with your FPS. For Nvidia Reflex low latency, set it to enabled. This helps reduce input delay and makes your game feel more responsive. Now for max FPS, just set it to 1000. This lets your game use all the performance your PC can give, which is exactly what you want for the highest FPS and lowest input delay. Menu FPS, you can lower this, no reason to waste performance in menus. Now this is where most of your FPS comes from, the graphics settings. For anti-aliasing, don't go too high. Set this to 2x MSA. It smooths edges a bit without killing your FPS. If you really need more performance, you can turn it off. Global shadows, don't keep this on high. Set it to low. Shadows are one of the biggest FPS killers. Dynamic shadows, keep it on all. It actually helps in gameplay because you can see enemy shadows around corners. Model and texture detail, set this to low. Big FPS boost, and honestly you won't notice much while playing. Texture filtering, leave this on billionaire. Highly values look slightly better but cost performance. Shader detail, set this to low. This affects lighting and effects, so keeping it low helps a lot. Particle detail, set this to low. This helps a lot during smokes, explosion and fights. Ambient occlusion, turn this off. It looks nice, but is not worth the FPS lose. High dynamic range, set this to performance. If you want a bit better visibility, you can leave it on quality, but performance gives better FPS. Fidelity, FX, super resolution, keep this disabled. It can make the game look blurry, so better to keep it off unless you really need extra FPS. But we're not done yet. Besides these settings, we also need to jump into Windows and tweak some important stuff to get the absolute best FPS. Before we start changing anything, I highly recommend you create a restore point just in case you want to go back to your original settings. Go to the search bar and type create a restore point, open it, then click on create. Give it a name like before optimization and press create. What this does is basically save your current system state, so if anything doesn't feel right later, you can easily revert everything back to how it was before. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is to reduce the number of apps that start when your PC boots. Go down here to the taskbar, right click on it, press on Task Manager. Then go to Startup Apps. Now here you will see a list of programs that automatically launch when you turn on your PC. What you want to do is disable anything you don't actually need, like Discord, Spotify, game launchers, stuff like that. The reason we are doing this is because all these apps run in the background and use your RAM and CPU. So if we disable them, your system has more resources available for your games. Next, we are going to unlock a hidden power mode in Windows called Ultimate Performance. Go to the search bar, type CMD, open command prompt as administrator, paste this command right here. I will leave this command in the description. Press enter, and now as you can see, Ultimate Performance has been successfully activated, but to fully activate it we need to go to the search bar, type power, press on choose a power plan, press on show additional plans, and check Ultimate Performance. What this does is basically removes power saving limits from your CPU and hardware. Normally Windows tries to balance performance and energy usage, but for gaming we want maximum performance all the time. Now let's make Windows a bit lighter. Search for adjust the appearance and performance of Windows, open it and select Adjust for best performance. You can keep smooth edges of screen fonts so the text still looks nice. The reason behind this is simple. All those animations, shadows and effects use system resources. They are not huge individually, but together they can actually impact performance, especially on low-end systems. If it seems too strange, you can go back here and select Adjust for best appearance again. Next, go to Settings, then Gaming, then Game Mode, and turn it on. Game mode tells Windows to prioritize your game and reduce background activity while you are playing. It's not a massive boost, but it helps stabilize performance. Now go back to gaming. Press on Game Bar and turn it off if you don't use it. The reason is that these features can record gameplay in the background, which uses CPU, GPU and disk, even if you are not actively recording. So turning them off removes unnecessary load. Now let's deal with apps running in the background. Go to Apps, Installed Apps, and here you need to uninstall all applications that you no longer use because they take up space for nothing and can slow down your operating system. Next, search for disk cleanup and clean your main drive. Delete temporary files, cache and anything unnecessarily. Why this matters is because a cluttered drive can slow down loading times and even cause stutters in some games. Keeping your storage clean helps everything run smoother. Now go to Files, this PC, right click on your main drive, go to Properties and uncheck all files to be indexed. Indexing helps Windows search faster, but it constantly runs in the background and uses disk resources. For gaming, we don't really need it, so disabling it can reduce background activity. Now you need to update your GPU drivers. Go to Nvidia, AMD or Intel's official website and install the latest drivers. New drivers often include performance improvements and optimization for newer games, so this can actually give you a noticeable FPS boost. Now go to Settings, System, Display, Graphics, Advanced Graphics Settings, and turn on Hardware Accelerated GPU Scheduling. This allows your GPU to manage its own memory more efficiently, which can reduce latency and improve performance in some games. Now for this step, go to the search bar and type Adjust the appearance and performance of Windows, then go to the Advanced. On the virtual memory, press on Change. Uncheck Automatically Manage Paging File Size. Now here you need to set two values: initial size and maximum size. A very simple rule you can follow is this: initial size is equal to your RAM in megabytes, maximum size is equal to double your RAM. So for example, if you have 8 GB RAM, set initial size 8192, maximum size 16384. If you have 16 GB RAM, set initial size 16384, maximum size 32768. If you have 32 GB of RAM like me, you can set initial size 32768, maximum size 65536. But honestly, with 32 GB RAM, this step won't make a huge difference in most games. It's just for stability, in case a game uses more memory than expected. What this does is it gives your system extra backup memory using your drive. So if your RAM gets full while gaming, your PC won't lag or stutter as much. What you can also do while your game is running: open Task Manager, go to Details, right-click your game, and set priority to high. This tells Windows to give your game more CPU attention compared to the other processes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you follow all these steps, your Windows 11 system should run noticeably better in games, smoother FPS, less stuttering and better overall performance. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.